What's going on, everybody? Mile High back at it with another video. And today we're going to be using Electro Dragons again, but this one's slightly different than the one I did last time. Obviously, we're not going to be using a Royal Champion charge this time. You're just going to be using the Electro Dragons, so you don't need anything fancy. You don't need like a Fire Might Clone Bomb. You don't need a Royal Champion charge, anything like that. So this is for people that like simple attacks. We're going to be taking 10 Electro Dragons, 6 Balloons, and a Baby Dragon. And then for spells, we just got 3 Rage, 4 Freeze, and a Poison spell. And then the Clan Castle, I'm taking Air Troops in the Blimp because I don't want to pull the Clan Castle if my heroes don't. So every once in a while, that'll actually be the difference between 3-starring and not. So that's why I'm using that. But like I said, sometimes your heroes, or even like with the army camps in the game now with the Giant and the Kane, sometimes they'll break the wall and pull the Clan Castle anyway. So that's why we have the Poison spell, just in case. But if we can avoid pulling the Clan Castle, that's actually ideal. The most important equipment, I would say, is the Giant Arrow and the Queen, because you want to be able to take out sweepers and air defenses with that. Anything else is interchangeable. I'm using the King just because my Minion Prince is actually upgrading, but if you have the Minion Prince, I think that would definitely be better to send in with your Electro Dragons for that Dark Orb ability. But let's go hop into a friendly challenge quick, and then we're going to show some Legend League attacks. Right, so starting off with the friendly challenge, what I'm going to do here with the Queen is shoot the Giant Arrow and try to hit both of these air sweepers, and unfortunately I hit the front one and missed the important one. So we're going to have to fight that air sweeper now, and then I'm going to use my Royal Champion with her Rocket Spear at the top just to snipe out more defenses in that first layer, and then also it sets the funnel with the Baby Dragon. So then you have both sides of the funnel set, and then I like to drop 2 Rages right off bat for the Electro Dragons, and then an early Warden ability to keep everything alive through this initial push. Rage up your Blimp when it gets to the Town Hall. Obviously poison the Clan Castle troops. We have Super Dragon here, which a lot of people actually do run to defend against disarmers. And then you're just keeping the big heavy hitting defenses frozen, and then raging your big pack of Electro Dragons when they are on a high damage area of the base. As you see, we're out of rage spells. We burn through them pretty quick. We are holding on to 1 more freeze. And our Royal Champion and this Giant are doing a nice job of trimming out defenses up here. And our Royal Champion might actually get that scatter shot, which is clutch. Stays alive too while that Giant's tanking. She's going to maybe get that Expo. But look how many Electro Dragons we have alive. This is absolutely crushed. We don't even have to fight the Yeeter or the Disarmer really, because we pretty much took out everything on the base before we're going to have to fight that. Royal Champion takes out the last air defense, and just look how many Electro Dragons we still have alive. Did we even lose any? I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I think. I think maybe we lost 1 Electro Dragon. This base was absolutely crushed. We're just going to 2 times through this cleanup. We're going to have to fight off the Yeeter, but once the Disarmer goes down 1 time, we should be able to take out the rest of the trash before having to take her out again. Let's see how quick she goes down. She just gets melted by the Electro Dragons. Easy 3-star. So I'm actually going to go into 1 more friendly challenge quick to show it against a war base, to show you without those army camps, it still does work. And then we'll hop into a couple Legend League attacks. Alright, so into a war base now without the army camps. So as you see here, from over here, 2 air defenses and both sweepers are in a line. So we're going to try to line up our Giant Arrow to take all that out. Most of the time I miss. This time I actually hit everything I was aiming for, which is really good. And I'm going to do something a little different this time. I'm going to use my King down here and my RC down here. And I'm just going to try to trim out this whole left side of the base here. And I'm going to use a couple Electro Dragons to funnel up here. And I'm just going to go straight down the middle. We get our 2 rage spells in. I was a little bit too far back with those. I should have dropped them in a little farther because they're already out of the rage now. Pretty bad placement. And of course, my Blimp catches the tornado trap every time, no matter where I send it. It's really frustrating. To be fair, that is a pretty obvious location for it, but we're going to rage through this core here. Our Blimp's not going to make it to the Town Hall because of that tornado trap. We're going to freeze all this up. We got fire spitters. We've got scatter shots. We just freeze everything up. We drop another rage spell. We're going to get some change through the Town Hall now. It should go down pretty quickly. 1 more hit and it should go down. And unfortunately, we don't chain to that Inferno. I was hoping we would, but it's going to cause a little bit of issues here now. But our Royal Champion was still alive, but she hits the Giga Bomb and does go down. So our Electro Dragons are starting to thin out a little bit here. Fortunately, our King's still alive. And basically all that's standing that can hurt us right now is this multi-archer tower and this just under half health Royal Champion, because the ground expo back here isn't going to do anything. The builder hut's really not going to do anything. So let's just 2x through this again, because at this point the Electro Dragons are just going to move really slow. But as you see, we still have a minute 15 on this replay. It goes so fast. They just gut the course so quickly that once they thin out on the backside, you got plenty of time to go clean up trash, so it's really no big deal. Our healer's keeping our king alive. We just barely get through that multi-archer tower. But again, this would have been way more overkill if my blimp would have made it to the town hall. We actually have our king going to Phoenix, so it's just our Phoenix that finishes off the base. But like I said, would have been overkill if our blimp would have made it to the town hall. It really sucked not making it there, but we caught the tornado trap. Wasn't the greatest execution on my part. Maybe the heroes weren't as good. But like I said, the minion prince would be stronger than the king also, which would also help out this attack. So let's go hop into a couple Legend League replays now. Alright, so we've got a rage and a poison in the core. This is actually a base that I had really good luck running in Legend League. It's just flipped, or it's not flipped, it's rotated, because I used to have the Town Hall at the top, but it is the exact same base. And this is a really strong base, but if you can get in here and take out the core, that's ideal. So I'm just trying to think here where I can get some value, because there's just not that much lined up with the giant arrow. So I'm going to shoot down here. I hit one air defense, but I missed the sweeper, which I was aiming for pretty badly, actually. I'm not very good with the giant arrow, to be fair. So we're going to drop all of our Electro Dragons in here near the Town Hall, and we're actually going to save the blimp here. I meant to have a Stone Slammer, but for some reason I didn't have a Stone Slammer. So here in this case, if you're going to send your Electro Dragons through the Town Hall, you would use a Stone Slammer with the main army, but for some reason I didn't have one. So I'm going to save the blimp, and I'm just going to use the blimp to snipe out the monolith on the backside. But I want to keep this core frozen now, and if I can get these Electro Dragons in here and get one rage on them, their chains will do work. There's so much value in here. There's both fire spitters, both scatter shots, multi-archer towers, multi-infernos, the rage tower, the poison tower. We hit our king's earthquake boots and spiky ball, and it actually does work. We're unfortunately fighting this sweeper, which is being an absolute nuisance, but that's what the giant arrow is supposed to hit. If you don't suck like me and can actually hit your giant arrow, this really would have been crushed. But as you see, most of the damage on the base is gone. We've got this multi-gear archer tower, air defense, and this single inferno. That's basically all we have to worry about. This stuff up here is a nuisance as well, but it's going to go down quickly. Like I said, if I would have hit that air sweeper with the giant arrow, we probably would have already 3-starred by now, to be honest, because the Electro Dragons without a rage really struggle against air sweepers, so that's what you really have to focus on. But you see here, our Electro Dragon at the bottom chains takes all that trash out. We still have a ton of Electro Dragons here. Royal Champion's still healthy. Our Kane's still alive. This base, again, was absolutely crushed. We're just going to 2x through the cleanup now. Got a couple E-Drags up there taking out that trash. And we really crushed that base, which surprised me, because that's a base that's done really well for me in Legend League. And when I've attacked against it, I've struggled against it. So let's go hop into one more Legend League replay. Alright, so this time we've got a Rage and an Invis Tower and a really stacked core again. So if I can get my Electro Dragons into that core, they'll do work. So I'm just trying to look for a giant arrow now. I want to make sure I trigger that Invis Tower for sure. That is top priority here. So I don't remember where I went in from. Gotta wait and see. Okay, from the top. And again, aiming for that air sweeper, and of course I missed it in typical fashion. I almost never hit him. That's okay, we'll come in from over here now. Instead of fighting that sweeper, we'll just come in from this side and we won't have to fight it as much. We got our Kane and our King and our Queen over there setting a nice funnel. Royal Champion with the Rocket Spear down here setting the other side of the funnel. Now we have a nice path for our Electro Dragons right into the core. Hit our Warden ability. Our Blimp should actually make it this time, and our Royal Champion is trimming everything. All of our Electro Dragons make it to the core, so these raged up here are going to absolutely gut this core. You got to watch this. If they can get one chain off, this whole core is going to be gone. Let's see it. Shoot. They're so slow, but that core just gets absolutely gutted, and all of our Electro Dragons are still full health. This base stands no chance, and they actually target that storage, which is perfect because they can chain off of that storage and just get so much value out of each of their shots. We're still holding on to our King ability as well. The Clan Castle is about to go down. We still have lots of E-Drags alive. Our Queen's about to go down at the top, but she does get the Ricochet Cannon before she goes down. And this is perfect. We're saving the Disarmer as the last building. That Disarmer Army Camp is the last building in the whole base, so we don't have to worry about fighting her, which is huge. Because, as you know, the Disarmer on defense is so annoying. It can still target air troops, even though your Disarmer on offense can't. Which makes no sense. But we pick up that Giant. That'll be nice to help tank for our heroes and break through walls. Unfortunately, we don't really need that wall broken, but he's beating on the wall anyway. But breaks through the wall nonetheless, which is nice because it picks up tanking. Our King walks in behind him. We still have our Earthquake Boots and Spiky Ball as well, so we're just going to pop it here to open that wall. I could have waited to use it on these backside defenses, but I don't think it really matters. Having that Giant, once he gets below half health, he'll rage up, break through that wall, no problem. And our King's now tanking. He still has his Phoenix as well. So I'm not worried at this point whatsoever. This should be an easy 3-star. And like I said, the disarmer army camp is going to be the last building, so we're not even going to have to fight her off one time, which is ideal. If you can do that, that's definitely ideal, but it doesn't always work like that, obviously. Because you got to enter on certain points of the base, just depending on where the air sweepers and stuff are at. So you can't always get the best of both worlds, but on this one, as you see, it worked out really well. So it worked against a war base, as I showed you. It works just fine against Legend League bases. This is a really fun attack. It does take a little practice with the giant arrow, which I don't use that often, and as you see, I was pretty terrible with it. So I didn't even hit most of my giant arrows, still got 3 stars. So if you guys can just become an expert at that giant arrow, it really makes this attack overpowered. So let me know in the comments how it works out for you guys. Drop a like if you guys enjoyed. I'll catch you guys in the next video.